Hey guys, this week we are going to talk about how to properly shoot from a prone position. A lot of the common mistakes that people make and also some ways that you can improve for accuracy. But before we do that, I'm going to give a shout out to this week's sponsor. Hey guys, this week's video brought to you by Shooting Targets USA. You guys know I love their dueling tree. They also made me these awesome targets for my battle rifle courses. These things are hardened all the way through. They don't get dimpled by green tip. They've got these awesome harmonic anatomy targets, right? It's actually got tuning forks built into the back of it. Love their Texas Stars, all their other products. I hit them up for a promo code, use TR15, saves you 15% off of everything. Check it out at shootingtargetsusa.com. Hey guys, this week I want to talk about how to properly assume a good prone shooting position. All right, there's a lot more to it than just flopping down on the ground and putting the red dot on the target and pulling the trigger, right? So first off, assuming that position. If you're at a run, obviously you're going to be going forward instead of backwards. So again, cant the gun sideways, separate your hands. Now I turn the gun sideways because so many soldiers have lost their front teeth whacking their chin and their face on that rear sight on that rifle. Optics are even taller, all right? So break your hands. I'm going to take as I'm going down, all right? And again, you can do this at speed. Plant that hand and then kick those legs out behind you, all right? Same thing if you're not running. Just literally squat down, plant that first hand and then kick your legs out behind you. Running forward, you're gonna go feet, drop to your knees, and then you're planting that hand, all right? But if you're static, drop down, plant that hand, kick those legs out behind you. All right, now I still keep my weapon slung. If I'm running a red dot optic, all I'm gonna do is mount that gun, bring the elbows in close. Now, first thing you're gonna notice is your natural point of aim is, what do I mean by that? Because what people do is they will just bring the gun up and they'll swing it over onto the target. And what they've done is I've completely twisted my spine in order to move the gun that far. All right, so now I'm not comfortable, but also I'm having to use the muscles in my arms to hold the gun right there. And what happens when you pull the trigger, your body's gonna wanna go back to that natural point of aim. So as you practice this in training, once you get down, don't even worry about where the target is. I want you to worry about natural point of aim first. All right, so mount that gun, that optic, red dot, iron sights, whatever you're using, with your eyes closed, and then open up your eyes. And I am too far to the left of my target. I need to move a little bit more to the right. Now, instead of just twisting my body, all right, I'm going to plant my gun and I'm gonna move my whole body. I literally am picking my pelvis up off the ground, sliding it over, and then I'm gonna adjust my feet again. I'm gonna close my eyes, remount the gun, and voila, I'm just a little bit too far to the right, plant the gun, slide my pelvis just a little bit, adjust my feet, close my eyes, back up on the gun. Guys, if you learn nothing else, natural point of aim and having a good natural point of aim, that's the difference between you hitting at 75 meters prone and you hitting at 400 meters prone. Good natural point of aim. All right, now, one thing you'll notice is as I bring the gun up, all right, to put it in the pocket of my shoulder, my 4 points of contact stay the same. Front of the gun with my hand, control, hand on fire controls of the gun, pocket of the shoulder, but that cheek weld. All right, now, one thing you'll notice is I have my stock let all the way out right now. And the reason for that is because when I'm standing, when I'm shooting from the standing position, I've got the stock in and that gives me normal eye relief on the gun. But when I go prone, that gun would be way too close to my eye. Doesn't matter with red dots, it does not, right? But if you're running a low power variable optic or you're running a larger scope, maybe a 3-10 or something, as you're going prone, remember to lengthen that stock. And what you're gonna find is your eye relief will be a lot easier for you to line up. Again, but that's a habit you have to build. Now, if you run in a red dot, does not matter. Running an EOTech does not matter. A little micro prism does not matter. All right, but if you're running low power variable optic or real optic, lengthen that stock as you go prone. Now, the other thing you'll notice is, all right, getting that head perfect behind the gun. If you're at an odd angle shooting, we have the problem that's called parallax. A technique that you can use especially for EOTechs and red dots is reach up and flip up that front sight. And now when I look through that red dot, I'm gonna put the red dot or my chevron right there on the front sight post of my gun. And you'll see if you cant your head left or right, you're gonna see that front sight post moving. That's you looking around the reticle. You're gonna miss that target. So using that front sight post, I'm just using it as a reference. Can it work in a low power variable optic? If you dial it all the way down to 1x, yep, you're gonna see that front sight post co-witnessed with that optic, but it's gonna be a little bit blurrier because you've got a bunch of lenses here. You're not actually using the front sight post to aim. You're not. You're just using it as a reference point so that it's always in the same spot every time. And what that's going to allow you to do is make sure that your pupil of your eye, that first lens, is lined up perfect with the lenses on these scopes. So do you need to use it for a 75-meter shot? Of course not. But if you're shooting 200, 300, 400 meters prone, having a good way to line up the lens of your eye behind the optic, it's just a good tip to know. All right, I get it. I'm completely lined up center. I'm good to go. All right, now, as far as placement of your elbows, it's really going to depend on how high the gun needs to be. What I mean by that is the more stable you can be, the better. If you have a bipod, well, awesome, you're supporting the front of the gun with a bipod. Most people don't run that on their battle guns. If the position you're at a place where you can actually rest that magazine on the ground, and you can still properly mount the sights, then cool, you've got another point of stability. And like I was taught by my drill sergeant, don't ever let your mag touch the ground, it will induce a malfunction. Total bullshit. I have tried banging these mags. I cannot induce a malfunction, not on modern guns with modern mags, right? So if you can use the magazine as a monopod, by all means, use the magazine as a monopod. Position I'm at here now, my magazine's not tall enough. You'll actually see 3-gun guys that run extended base pads, not because I need the extra rounds, it's because they're literally planning on using it as a monopod. Cool, I don't have that option here, but I still want to be stable. All right, so I'm bringing my elbows in as close as I can. Now, you'll notice that I'm trying to get the support size elbow up in underneath the gun. All right, and the reason why I'm trying to do that is your rules of rifle marksmanship. You want muscular relaxation with bone support. I'm trying to support the front of the gun with the bones in my forearms and relax my arms. So I've got the bone supporting the gun, but I'm having to use my biceps to keep the gun from falling forward. So I've got one, I don't have the other. How can I do that? Notice I mentioned I left my sling on, right? My sling, and we used to train with the old leather slings on the M14s and the M21s to use it to help us lock in shooting, sitting, and prone, unsupported. You can do the same thing with a modern assault sling. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break the gun into my workspace and I'm gonna tighten that sling up to wherever it needs to be. And what you're gonna find is now when I mount the gun, all right, if you guys can see it right there, this sling is tight enough that it's actually keeping the gun right there. My arm's not falling, I'm not using my bicep at all to keep this gun here. If that's too high, I can loosen the sling just a little bit, and that's gonna allow me to lower the gun a little bit. If it's too low, I'll tighten the sling a little bit more, and now the gun is high. My point though is I'm not using my bicep to hold the gun up. Once I'm in position, my body's straight, spine's not twisted. Notice my heels are flat on the ground, okay? You don't want your heels sticking up. Understand guys, if it's a two-way gunfight, you get shot in the heel of your foot because your heel's sticking up, waving around like a rabbit out in the middle of the field, you're gonna make a squeal that's very, very unique. All right, so keep those heels flat. Mount that gun, got it good, close my eyes, got my good natural point of aim, open my eyes, I'm all set. I'm just slightly left or right. Okay, I'll adjust that just a little bit. How do I adjust up and down? Right, I've got smooth trigger pull. That last step is that natural respiratory pause, right? Between your breaths, you breathe in, you breathe out. There's a pause. You breathe in, you breathe out, there's a pause. Pre-breathe a little bit, get some extra oxygen in there. But then when you're ready to shoot, you're gonna breathe in a little bit more than necessary. And what you're gonna find when you breathe in, you're actually raising, you're using that, because we're all abdominal breathers, you're gonna raise those shoulders, right, with those intercostal muscles, overinflating that rib cage. And that's gonna lower the front of the gun, and then breathe out till that front sight or that optic comes up to exactly where it needs to be on the target. Hold your breath right there, and then roll through that trigger, 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds. Guys, that's, I know it sounds easy. Carl, I shoot prone all the time. I know you do. I'm just trying to give you some pointers to make you a better shooter in the prone. All right, again, natural point of aim, bone support, muscular relaxation, using that breathing to get that real fine-tuned sight picture on targets, and then a smooth trigger pull. And what you're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna take these concerned citizens and all of our okay competitors and okay gunfighters out there, and we're gonna turn you into modern, well-trained warriors on the battlefield. That's all I got for today. You guys leave your comments and questions below, and we'll see y'all next time. Y'all take care and shoot straight. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything.